A very good morning to all the students. This video for the class 6 subject science chapter number 7, that is getting to know plants. This is your lecture number 1. So in today's video we are going to cover some topics. So the topics to be covered are, so in today's lecture we are covering some activities of this chapter, getting to know plants. Okay, so the first activity is activity number 1. Second topic is activity 2nd, activity 3rd, activity 4th. Let us begin this lecture with these activities. So the activity first is, aim is to study the characteristics of various plants. So the process is, what you have to do, look closely at the stem and the branches of plants much smaller than you. Second is plants that are about your size and plants which are much taller than you. Okay. Next is, feel their stem and try to bend them gently to see if they are tender or hard. Take care that the stem doesn't break. Okay, hug the plant to see how thick their stems are. Okay, we also need to notice from where the branches grow in some plants, close the ground or higher up on the stem. As you can see in this table, we will now group all the plants that we observe in this table. Some examples are shown and some are, rest of the one you have to study later part of the section. Okay, you can fill the column first, fill the column 2nd, 3rd for many more plants. First, you have to mention the plant name, which plant you are using for this activity. Okay, then in column 1st mention the height. If the plant height is short, mention it short. If it's tall, if it's very tall, mention it, and if it's about your height, then mention it about it's my height. Okay, then column 2nd is, you have to fill about the stem. If the stem is green or tender, or the stem is thick or hard. If the stem is thick, then mention here yes. If the hard stem, mention there yes. Or if the stem is tender or not tender, then mention simply no. Okay, then in column 3rd you have to answer the branches that is appear at the base of the stem or higher up on the stem. Okay, after that the category of plant, if the plant is herb, tree or shrub. Okay, moving on our second activity, that is to study the color of the plant that changes with the colored water. So the material required to perform this activity is, we need to take a plant, water, glass and some ink. You can choose a blue ink or a red ink also, that it's up to you. After that the procedure is, pour the water to fill 1/3 of the glass. Then add a few drops of red ink into the water. Then cut the base of the stem of the herb and put it in the glass as shown in the image. After that, observe it the next day. As you can see here in this picture, yeah, here, and do any part of the herb appears to have the red color? If yes, how do you think the color reaches there? That you have to answer, how the color reaches to there. Okay, you can cut the stem across of this plant and look for the red color inside the stem also. Okay, firstly you have to pour the water to fill 1/3 of the glass and add a few drops of a red ink into the water. Then cut the base of the stem of a herb and put it into the glass, in this glass, that is in red colored glass. Okay, and observe it the next day. So you have to Write down the observation of this activity. Do any of the part of the herb appears to have the red color? If it is yes, then how do you think the color reached there? Next, moving on, a third activity is to study the veins of the leaf. So the material required to perform this activity is a paper and a pencil. Procedure is, put a leaf under a white sheet of a paper or a sheet in your notebook. You can choose a notebook paper sheet or a white sheet. Hold it in a place and hold your pencil tips sideways and rub it on the portion of the paper having the leaf below it. Okay? And then, as you can see in this picture, you are taking an impression of any leaf. Okay? Firstly, you have to put a leaf under this white sheet, okay, of a paper or a sheet in your notebook. After that, hold it in a place as shown in this figure. And hold your pencil tip sideways and rub it on the portion of the paper. After that, did you get any impression with some lines in it? Are they similar to those on the leaf? This is your question of this activity. Did you get an impression with some lines in it? Are they similar to those on the leaf that you are using that leaf? If they are similar, then say yes, they are similar. Okay, if they are not similar, then write down simply no, they are not similar. Moving on, a fourth activity, that is aim to show the transpiration in plants. So the material required to perform this activity is a few leaves of a plant, 2 transparent polythene bags and some strings. So the procedure is, do this activity during the daytime or during a sunny day. Use a healthy plant's leaves. Enclose a leafy branch of the plant in a polythene bag and tie up its mouth and keep it also in the sunny area. Okay. So the question that is arising here, after the few hours, observe the inner surface of the bag. What do you see? So as you can see in this picture, first cover a few leaves of a plant with the polythene bags. Okay, this is the polythene bag. Cover this few leaves of a plant and then tie them with a string and observe them after a few hours. So what you have to do, after the few hours, observe the inner surface of the bags. What do you see here? That you have to observe it in this activity. Okay. Moving on, a fifth activity, that is aim is to show that leaves contain starch. Okay. So the material required to perform this activity is, you need to take a test tube, burner, spirit, beaker, water, leaf, a plate and iodine solution. So the procedure is, put a leaf in a test tube and pour the spirit to completely cover the leaf. Then now put the test tube in a beaker half filled with water. Then heat the beaker till all the green color from the leaf comes out into the spirit in a test tube. Then take out the leaf carefully and wash it in the water and put it on the plate and pour some drop of iodine solution on the leaf. Okay, as you can see in this picture, firstly put a leaf in a test tube and pour some spirit to completely cover the leaf. After that, put the test tube into the beaker half filled with water. Then heat this beaker, okay, till all the green color is chlorophyll, all the chlorophyll from the leaf comes out into the spirit in the test tube. Okay, after that take out this leaf carefully and wash it in the water and put it on a plate and add some iodine solution over it. Okay, after that you have to observe the color of the leaf. What will be the color of the leaf when we are adding the iodine solution over it? Okay, this is the question. Next, moving on, activity number 6, that is to study the importance of roots. Material required to perform this activity are 2 pots. You have to take the 2 pots, some soil and a digging tool. That digging tool is a khurfi. Blade, water, weeds, plants. You can take a pair of scissors instead of a blade. Okay, then procedure is of this activity you have to do that: select the 2 weeds plants of the same kind from an open ground and dig them out. Take care that their roots do not break. Plant one of the weeds in the soil in pot. After that, cut off the root from the other weed and plant it in the soil in pot. Water them regularly and observe the plant for the 1 fall week. Okay, as you can see in this picture, firstly what we have to do: select the 2 weeds from the open ground. Okay, dig them out, then take care their roots are intact with it. Roots do not break. Okay, then plant one of the weeds in the soil in pot. Cut off the root from the other weed. From this weed, cut off the root from this weed plant and put it into the soil. Okay, water them regularly and observe the plant after a week. So the question is, after 1 week, are they both plants healthy or not healthy? This is the question. These both plants, after a week, these both plants are healthy or not. Okay. So next, moving on a homework part. The homework of lecture number 1 is to write down all the observation of all these activities. Okay, you have to note it down into your science fair notebook. Understood? Hope you have understood this lecture. Thank you and have a nice day.